Hello there everyone and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. We are back in the Kerbal Space Center today and we are going to design an asteroid intercept mission. This is going to be a challenging mission to design for a number of reasons. The most primary one being just because, well, asteroids are big and heavy. So we need, first of all, we need the all-important critical master machine known as the grabber. And where, oh where, could the grabber be hiding? It's probably structural. Command and control, maybe? What is that? Different kind of decoupler. Neat. Ah, there it is. Of course, advanced grabbing unit right there. Okay. So we can just put that right on top of the probe core. No reason to really go crazy with anything else there. Now what we need for this mission to be successful is a crapload of Delta V. But we also need a fair amount of maneuverability in this craft. So we're going to put both the reaction wheel and... Alright, we're just going to structurally stabilize that. We're going to get one solar panel on, or one battery for insurance. One large battery will be more than adequate for any purposes. Now, we're not going to put any science devices on this ship. This is just going to be this is only a recovery ship, and we're probably only going to be able to handle Class A asteroids at most with this. But maybe Class Bs if we're really lucky. Alright, so then we need to design the actual ship. So we need two parts. We need to be able to get to the target, and we need to be able to capture the target. Now the launch subassembly I've designed, the largest is a 140-ton plus lifter. So I think that's our target will be a 140-ton ship. Now, since we're not going to be able to rotate an asteroid, let's see. I think we could just tri-stack this thing. I mean, this thing's a mass. We're dealing with something that has serious mass. So if I use that and that's 120 tons. Yeah, that's actually pretty close to being right, isn't it? Alright, cool. And that's actually showing up in the right place, too. It's weird how the mirroring sometimes works and sometimes doesn't with these things, isn't it? So if there's 2, 4, 6 down there, we need to put 6 up here. Yeah, 2 per. That should balance that off quite nicely. Now, that's 120 tons. We can go a little bigger then. We could also... No, quad stack will be too big. 140, that's a bit big. 128, 134. Oh, solar. We haven't counted for solar yet. Almost forgot. So maybe we won't be able to. Where are we going to put solar panels on this beast? I've kind of... You know what? I think it might be more stable to use a more stable and easier to power if we do it this way. Well, I don't know if it's more stable, but it's definitely going to be easier to control. Let's see. We've got one there, we got one there. Perfect. Okay, it's mirroring properly. And then one right there. Good. And that still works out to be 6. See, by doing it this way, we make it really easy to put solar panels on this beast. Ah, beautiful. 3. I figure what we're going to do is we're going to design this thing, get it into orbit, and then from there we'll figure out what asteroid we're actually going to hit. Utility. So... oh well. 2, 4, 6. All right. Each one of these produces 54 per hour, which is 0.9. We do this math every time, so 0.9 per hour. Probe core consumes 1.98 per minute. So 4 would be adequate, 6 is more than adequate. So we're going to go with 6. 2, 4, 6. Okay. So in theory, this should be an adequate capture device. At least that's my understanding of the game says this should be a very good capture rig. But there's really only one solid way to find out. And that will be doing the math. So let's just throw the 140 ton lift on here. So just make a note, 122.475 tons. We'll figure out how much delta V that actually calculates out to being. Uh-oh. All right. We're also going to revise this launching rig a little. It's only 122. Could we fit any more fuel on this? 25. We can. 135. Okay. Let's put a decoupler on here. I probably jumped the gun on... Okay, let's get rid of this. The phrase... Yeah, we're just not going to care about this thing. Alright, we'll start this thing with this disabled. Good. Okay, so the mass is now 135. And if I wanted to put a little bit more in, I could throw on these things, but I think I might be pushing my luck. What the hey? Oh. Extra engine sitting around there. Let's not push our luck here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be enough, or do you think I should do one more pair? Nope, can't reach there. That should be enough. Should be. It's fine print, right? Okay, so this should be called A-Class Asteroid Catcher A-Class. Okay, so before I leave, let's just go and figure out how, before I cut here, or cut to do the math on this ship. I gotta just cross out these numbers, they're not accurate anymore. We're just going to quickly duck to the tracking station and have a look at asteroids in the near Kerbal area and figure out how to track them and figure out what's actually going on with them. So we want an A-class. That's a huge one. We're not catching that. Class C, Class C, Class A. So if I was to say, hey, could you track that asteroid for me? And let's just see what happens. Let's see. How long does it take to get? Oh, we're definitely... We losing it? We're losing it. Okay, interesting. But you can see there's some Class D, Class C. Those are really coming close to Kerbal. Look at that. So we just got to chill for a bit and watch and see what we find. But really, there's no reason to do that until we have a ship in orbit to actually capture one of these things. Because until we can actually have something available, ready to go, there's not much point in fussing too much about it. So let's get back to Kerbal, and let's... Woo! The water glitch. Have a look at our contracts. Just for kicks. Yeah, just the same ones that we're used to. Interesting that there isn't... Now, would there be... Could it be that there will be a contract for rocket capture? Maybe I should bomb something. No, that'll just give us more bombing missions. You know what? Let's just get rid of this turbojet. 67,000 for a quick... Slow flying at 10,000 to 167,000. You know what? Let's just quickly clear this one contract with a simple and dirty contract test. This is just to see if we can get an asteroid capture mission. Just for kicks. If not, that's fine. It's extra science regardless. So we just need a super duper cheap little, because we only need to get up to about 10,000. Where is our research engine? Which engine are we supposed to be testing here? Test turbojet engine in flight over Kerbal. And we just have to activate it as... Activate through staging sequence when all test conditions are met. Okay, so we just need a small bit of jet fuel. Probably not even necessary strictly, but... Structural aerodynamics. There we are. Liquid fuel fuselage. I really should have actually put a probe core on this first. There we go. Probe core. Plain old battery. Turbojet engine. There it is. That has 800 electrical charge. Not even going to be minutes for this flight, so I might even be able... Do you think I can do it with 3 of these goofy little engines? Maybe. Let's give it a shot. Hey, if it's... I haven't done a silly little flight like this in a long time. And this little mission that we've got left here is certainly a silly little flight, so... Let's just get that a little lower on the ship. There we go. And then we'll get our parachutes in place. 3 Mark 16s. I don't know. Do you see anything wrong with this thing? I am not seeing anything wrong with this. Other than the sheer silliness. Oh, no, wait, no. You know what? We need to be able to throttle our speed. We don't want to be going too fast when we hit elevation. So we need the liquid fuel. So we're going to use 3 of these. And 3 LVT-45s. We haven't used those in the atmosphere in a long time, have we? Okay. Because we need to be able to slow down when we get to our target location, or when we get close to our target elevation. Alright, let's just reconfigure configure that to be a little bit more structurally sound. Let's get some nice little winglets on here. Little winglets. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's see if that's adequate. This will be called Quick Test Mark 1. This is just to clear a silly contract out of the system. So we need to get up to about 10,000 at a very low speed. So more or less we need to hit our target speed and just maintain it until our apoapsis is a little bit over our target elevation. Oh, and let's actually set up some reasonable staging on this that will actually accomplish the mission as designed. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. All right. Slow her down, way down. So yeah, target speed is... We have everything except the altitude now. Actually, we're speeding up more than I'd like. Okay. Cool your jets, little rocket. Cool your jets. Building a rocket that launches slowly is almost as hard as building one that launches fast. It's kind of funny. Well, that's what happens when you try to design a minimalist rocket. Alright, we're going nice and fast. We're at 6,000 and climbing, which looks like we're going to make it, no problem. The momentum at the very least is going to carry us up over the elevation target. It's going to be tight, though. But I think it's going to be enough. Just barely. 10,300 is our target. And this little beastie is looking good. And... mission accomplished. Beautiful. As easy as that. The fuel has been saved, and we are going in for our landing, and now we're falling. Now, parachute deployment should be perfectly safe at this stage. We're going slow enough. There's no reason why it won't slow us down when we get far enough towards the ground, assuming that we didn't under-design our... I didn't even put an intake on that, did I? Ah, oh well. I don't think it's actually physically capable of using the fuel. I wonder how slow these parachutes will actually make us go by the time we hit the ground. We're slowing down now, which is good. I'm just time warping us towards the ground again, because hey, might as well. Altitude of... oh boy, we're going fast. And the magic number is about 7. 7 should be slow enough. We could slow it down just with a little bit of, tiny bit of fuel if we want to save these engines. There we go. One. Kill the engines because I don't want to damage anything. And boop. We made it. Carver vessel. Contract complete. And maybe we'll get a refresh on our contracts list and get something new. That would be nice. So 10,000 recovered for parts, which is the majority of the cost of that ship, except for the fuel. And a quick and dirty $67,000 contract, and anything useful? Nope. Now we got a toroidal aerospike orbiting the moon. Ah, well. Too bad. Too bad. Okay. I will be right back. I'm going to go run the numbers on the asteroid capture and see where we're at for Delta V on that beast. Be right back. Hey guys, so this beastie up top here has 6,049 Delta V in it. These three tanks. Based on my very preliminary research, that should be enough to capture an A class. If it comes close enough to Kerbal, possibly even a B class if we're really lucky. That said, I could get a lot more into. I could potentially get a lot more fuel into orbit if I launched these empty or partially empty. You can use the grabber to transfer fuel through, so I could even. I could pump. I'm pretty sure I could pump fuel through the asteroid, or through here, through a grabber into a larger, more powerful ship. I could add more engines, make a bigger cluster of empty tanks. I mean, if we just go with the Class B one here, if we just launch completely empty, that gives us a budget of another 100 tons worth of launch mass, which means it is theoretically possible to launch a full, well, a monstrosity of a ship here, really. You could go pretty darn crazy with this. You see, you'd launch with that, minus the... So this is the other option. And then what we do is we design a fuel tanker. So we'd have to find out how much this weighs when full, and I mean, it would require a little bit more finessing. But I'm thinking the 6,000 Delta V is adequate for our first attempt. I want to think it is, anyways. I mean, it's certainly something we can afford to launch. I mean, if we can get intercepted with about 2,000 Delta V. The only question really is 2 engines enough, or should I be distributing this to about 4 engines? I actually kind of like having the... I like the idea of the solar panels over here instead. So we'll have to think on it, but if this looks good, which I'm going to think on for a few days and do a little more research on exactly how to do this, if this doesn't feel adequate after I crunch some numbers and stuff, I will launch an empty version with more tanks on it, or nearly empty, partially emptied, and then I'll launch a refueling mission to top up the tanks. It actually might almost be coming time to have a docking station in orbit that could act as a refueling depot. Oh well, something to consider for the future. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.